What is it? Episode 50. Who writes numbers out? Who writes numbers out like that?
I felt like being an asshole.
Oh, God. Hey, it's the Marc and JD podcast.
We definitely got kicked off. The YouTube algorithm killed us because they said asshole within the first 30 seconds. Pretty sure that's how that works.
I don't know. Does it? I have no idea. I noticed I'm in the dark tonight. The dark. I was sick of the light above me, making me look all washed out like a fucking.
It looks like we're about to have film. It looks like we're about to have a conversation on Loveline. It's really weird. But then you would just be a silhouette in the background.
Long time listener, first time caller.
My
girlfriend shat the bed the other day.
But I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. Does that mean I'm into that, or?
That was a weird fucking show, actually. I'm surprised that show's not on anymore.
The radio show. The radio show, I think, is still on.
Dr. Drew is still around. He is a scummy. He's a scummy person, though.
It's still on. It's still on. It was on a hiatus for a while. It's a 2-hour show. It's still on. You know who hosted it for a couple years?
Who?
Amber Rose.
Really?
Yes.
That's a weird one.
That's fucking weird.
That is weird.
MTV used to be like this kind of like late night, like kind of pornish for teenagers.
Well, sort of. I mean,
Loveline and Undressed, remember?
Yeah, I remember Undressed. That was a good show, actually. I liked Undressed. It was weird. That's what you could get away with as a teenager, though.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get away with that shit.
Watching MTV. Just
MTV. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing wrong with MTV, right?
Just music videos. They're not talking about porn. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's just weird because they shoehorned Adam Carolla onto that show.
They didn't shoehorn him on.
He was
on the TV version.
Yeah, but he was kind of like, I don't think he was on the radio version because the radio version
he was on the radio version first before. It was actually hosted originally by Dr. Drew and Ricky Rockman. No, not originally. I'm sorry. For a long time, those two.
Ricky Rockman.
Imagine
it's like an MTV weird. Show. Jesus. That is weird.
Is it still on the air? It is still on the air. No, it was a podcast. It's on LGBTQ Network, Channel Q. Heard on Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 Eastern Time.
Pop that shit
on. I guess it is still kind of on.
Well, I know Adam Carolla has his own podcast and stuff.
Well, he was a big deal. Like before Rogan, Carolla was the big one.
Yeah, I mean, so we can talk about Rogan a little bit about his feud with Howard Stern too. That segues nicely. But so Rogan's obviously an anti-vaxxer. But so let me ask you this:
and
do you think
COVID denier, essentially?
Yeah, basically. I don't know why he's such a fucking weirdo. But it's that whole like mentality of being like
good bro mentality.
Yeah. But do you think Howard Stern 20 years ago would have been an anti-vaxxer?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Really?
Stern's always been he's always been a reasonable guy at heart who doesn't have a filter when it comes to talking to people or doing skits on the radio, but he's not like you think during like his the Private Parts era? Absolutely not. He would have not been an anti-vaxxer then.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I know Anthony from Up and Anthony would have been, or is probably.
See, that's how he's always been, and his humor is like that. But I don't think Stern would have been like that at all.
I've never been a Stern guy, obviously.
He's on. I never was either because we were never his target market. First of all,
no, we weren't. We weren't old enough back then.
Right, we weren't old enough, and we didn't do morning radio.
Well, I did, but not. Well, actually, no. Opie and Anthony back then were drive time. They were drive time radio. So
when I first got into them, they were on the 2 to 7 shift. And I caught them right at the beginning of that. Like I missed like the first hour, almost hour-ish.
No.
But I would listen to the rest.
Yeah, you still listen to
on my fucking little Walkman with cassette player.
I used to listen to them and Don and Mike all the time.
Don and
Mike were the best. And Ron and Fez. I don't think they're. One of them I thought passed away.
It's like one of Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Fez died.
Don and Mike, 2008 it ended.
It's a long time. But they're probably doing other shit now too.
Don is still alive and has a podcast.
Don Geronimo.
And Mike is still alive and has a talk show podcast. So
basically they are just doing podcasts.
Yeah, it's just like us. We did it first, damn it.
Yeah, we really were doing the
we did essentially what was a podcast
20 years
in 2003, but it wasn't a podcast then, and we didn't have a way to like record it and give it to people for easily digestible time.
People had to actually listen to it.
Yeah, you had to listen to it live. Like there was really no other way. Like what were they going to do? We didn't really have a way of like making an MP3 or anything.
So the reason I wanted to do radio was because of Dan and Scott. And you don't even know.
Scott and Todd in the morning?
No, Dan and Scott on IATA.com.
WPLJ, Scott and Todd.
Oh, God, fuck that guy. But they had a radio show on IATA.com, I guess, or something like that. It was some radio thing. They had a bunch of people on there. But they were on there. That's where Lance Manload comes from. It was a character that he created, and they don't do radio anymore. I think I emailed the guy one time, the guy Dan, and he emailed me back trying to sell me something from his current company. I felt very let down by that, actually, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're gonna do. Oh, a fan, I can sell them something. I'm gonna eat this week.
It was very weird, but
I'm gonna eat this week.
Dan something and Scott Borkus or some shit like that. I don't know. Whatever. It was like a bootleg Opie and Anthony before Opie and Anthony was really famous.
You notice how like there's never a duo that lasts for more than 10 years that just has like a pretty decent split up.
O&A did 20.
Well, I'm just saying like anyone that's had like they've been on the air for more than 10-ish years together, when they split up, it's always like really fucking bad every time.
Well, I mean, so when O&A split up, Anthony lost his fucking mind. He got attacked by a black girl for taking pictures of people, and he dropped the N-bomb like a fucking lunatic all the time, and it was just he's obviously a racist. He's one of those hardcore Republicans. I'm sure he loved Trump, but like they weren't. Apparently, the story is they weren't really a team for the last 5 years of that anyway.
Right.
So it's whatever. I haven't listened to it.
They've gone off on their own tangents. I guess after a couple of, so many years together of a successful radio show, do you really think that they're going to be able to talk about the same things that they did? They probably lasted longer because they brought Norton in too. And
then Norton kind of like weaseled his way into that shit too. I mean, he's a funny dude, but I'm partial to Opie. I've always been an Opie guy. Know. I just like his humor. Like I like the awkwardness of everything. There's an interview he did with Ed Asner where he's like Ed Asner like yells at him and hangs up on him on the phone. And it's one of those really like cringy moments that I just love, that he's just so mean to people. It's fucking hilarious. But
it's not my kind of thing. I can't do cringe.
I love the cringe. Like I like the feeling of like knowing that.
If you think of other big time famous duos on the radio, like ones that I think of immediately, Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN radio.
That was a bad breakup too.
They had a big breakup. Mike and the Mad Dog. They had a huge breakup.
They made up though. They made up because they had that ESPN. They had that ESPN special.
Yeah, that whole breakup was fucking brutal.
Oh, I know.
And then who's the other ones? Scott and Todd in the morning. They had a big thing.
They were fucking terrible. Who cares?
Right, but they were terrible. But like all of a sudden, like there was a big breakup, and they were huge in New York radio for a long time.
They were. They weren't like they were terrestrial radio when terrestrial radio was still popular.
I mean, Howard has managed to keep his people together for a long time. That's to be something said. That's to be said about that. They've been doing it for what 30 years.
They're paying him a shitload of money. They've been doing it for 40 years, at least close to 40 years, if not about 40 years. Yeah. You know, but I mean, they've been.
I mean, you got to give them props for keeping. Well, not everybody was together that whole time, but for the most part, they've been together a long time.
He's been doing like 2 days a week or 3 days a week for.
Yeah, I know. What he does now is not really the same anymore.
No. That's why when he gets paid as much as he gets paid, it's kind of just for the name at this point. No, it's like
but he's got 40 years. That's what they're paying for. They're paying for to have enough content to have 2 stations going all the time.
They can just play the shows over and over and over and over.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
so much content. You're talking about what was he on the 3-4 hours a day every 250 days a year. That's so much content.
I mean, O&A were on 6 to 12 every day? 6 hours?
No, not that long.
6 to 11?
I think 2 to 7 was like the longest.
No. I mean, when they were on Sirius XM, they were on from like 6 in the morning till probably it was either 11 or 12.
I don't know, but drive time's not the same anymore in the morning. Okay, 6 o'clock isn't really drive time. I feel like, and with Sirius, like I think a lot of things start at 7 now. It used to start at like 6 or 5:30.
Yeah, it was 6.
It's fucking crazy, but nobody's got that kind of schedule anymore. Or if they do, they're not listening to that. They can listen to it whenever.
If you work from home and you get up at 6 in the morning, more power to you. But
fuck you. You make my job harder, damn it. I got people like sometimes at my job I'm acting supervisor, and they got to check in with me, and I'll get emails at like 5:55 in the morning, and I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? Stop it! I'm not even up there. I'm not up that early. I mean, I'm only up at 6:30 to get the kid on the bus. Otherwise, I'd sleep later than that."
I get up about 6.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't. No, you have like an hour-long drive to work.
No, 30 minutes.
Sorry, 30 minutes. I got a 6-minute walk down the steps to my desk. Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
It doesn't take much. But, there are days where it's like I'll work later just because the computer's there, and I'll just log on and see what's going on. I deal with a lot of West Coast people. So there's always a 3-hour delay.
True.
So there's always that, like, I never really leave. I don't ever really leave work. If somebody needs me to do something, like I'm available, I can be online in 2 minutes.
True.
So anyway, let's move back. Speaking of work, okay, we're not vloggers, even though we are on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram now with lots of video content. But we're not vloggers.
No, we're not vloggers.
You know who was a vlogger, a van life vlogger?
Gabby Petito.
And before we get into the whole Gabby Petito being dead, she's definitely dead.
She's already dead. Yes,
right.
I told you.
Whenever we know that
when she last week, when she went missing, I told you she was dead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what I want to talk about is, before I get into that, is the van life.
What exactly would you say is van life?
People who live in a van. People who live in a van or an RV or a converted school bus. That's another one. I don't know what it is, but like when I'm watching Instagram like reels, which is like TikTok essentially, it's the same thing. I get a lot of videos about like RV life or van life. People that are doing that, and I'm like, well, I don't know why. I don't really know how to make more content show up that I want to see. I don't really know how to do that. I just scroll through it. I don't want to like shit. I don't want to do that. But anyway, I get these things and it's like, oh, what do you do for this? And what do you do for that? And it's like some of them are, it's like this one family where they have 3 kids and they all live in a fucking RV. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You live full time in an RV and you have 3 children? What the fuck is wrong with you?
There's one on.
Oh God!
There's one on TikTok where they're redoing a bus into a house, and they so they can be mobile. I'm like, first of all, yeah, buses are big, but you're basically living in a glorified mobile home at this point.
Yeah, you're living in an RV. You
That's
just
just a mobile
customize an
home.
RV.
You're living in a fucking double wide. I mean, buses are kind of big and buses are cool, but I wouldn't want to be living in a bus. They take the seats
Where
out
do
of the
you
shit.
live? I live in the bus down the street. You know, like what's the kids supposed to say? But also, 3 kids. I think they're all like under 10 in a small space. No privacy. They were like, "What do you want to do when what do you want to do when the husband wants some private time? Like we turn on the laundry." It's like
Where's the laundry at?
eventually the kids are gonna know every time that you're doing laundry. Mom and dad are fucking again. You know, like,
mom or dad are making baby number 4.
Oh God.
No, I don't understand.
The laundry, the washer and dryer are so small. And if you've got 5 people living there, you're constantly doing laundry.
They're just boning hard, man.
But you're doing laundry nonstop all the time.
I wonder if she grapefruits her man, though.
What are you doing back there? I'm just using the blender.
Why does it smell like grapefruit? This is weird. No, it's like those little. Remember how people buy those little houses? Like they buy those little tiny houses.
I can understand. Like they're not usually for families, though, right? Like I don't get it.
2 people.
My house is too big, and I would like to downsize because I really don't need that much space. But I can't imagine 5 people living in an RV, and sometimes it's more. I just can't imagine living in an RV for an extended period of time, let alone every day. Where do you keep your shit?
Have you seen these? The show where they turn the storage containers into houses.
Yes.
What the fuck is that about?
It is. That's the thing. And like,
why?
Why? Because it's repurposing. They're repurposing. It's like recycling storage containers that would not be used otherwise and turn it into.
But you still have to use building materials to make the insides.
Yeah,
makes no sense. I
don't get it.
So fucking stupid. I watched this guy spend a fucking $1 million to build a mansion out of fucking shipping containers. I'm like, why don't you just build a fucking mansion?
Like they built Starbucks and stuff out of the shipping containers. Like I don't understand.
I mean, that's a marketing ploy. I get that part. But
I just don't. Why do you want to live in such a small home?
I mean, like,
this is America, goddammit. There's so much fucking land you don't need to live in a small home.
We talked about this. We have so much land everywhere. No, that's where Gabby. Wyoming. Speaking of Wyoming,
well, that's how we started with the Gabby Petito thing.
So Gabby Petito
is dead. She's
totally dead. She's dead.
She's obviously been dead for a while.
It was a homicide, so obviously her boyfriend killed her. How he killed her, we don't know yet because they haven't released the autopsy results. But he's on the run. But my guess would be that he killed himself.
No, I was reading, and that made perfect sense. Is he has enough skills of doing the van life and living out in the wild. He could probably just live in a forest for a long time.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do.
You think he's not going to go like the Into the Wild kid, just like dying on a bus somewhere?
What's Into the Wild? The movie?
Yeah, the movie where it was Emil Hirsch. It's based on a real story where the guy goes to live in the woods and he dies. He eats like a bad berry or some shit and he dies.
One bad berry
can kill them all.
Reese Witherspoon?
No.
I've never heard of this movie.
It's Emil Hirsch. It's based on a John Krakauer book.
2007, directed by Sean Penn. Okay, I've seen
It's got that movie.
I've seen the poster for this movie.
It's got the song by Pearl Jam or Eddie Vedder. Something with the sun in it. Sun. I got a son.
2 Golden Globes and won a Golden Globe for the best original song, guaranteed.
What's the name of the song? What's that the name? Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I don't think that's the song. We're gonna get
what, sued for my terrible fucking Eddie Vedder?
Dude, that was Pitch Perfect. I don't know what you're talking about.
Earl into the wild. Jeremy's into the wild.
Jeremy's broken. This has been bad Eddie Vedder accents.
You ever seen the Adam Sandler impersonation of Eddie Vedder on Saturday Night Live?
He has such a distinct fucking voice. It's retarded.
Whatever happened to early 90s bands, like grunge bands, they were just like so chill, right? Like you think the music would have made them like not chill, but most of those early grunge bands, they're just chill people. They're not like assholes like fucking Fred Durst and Kid Rock.
Also, saying we were talking about this too, how obviously the early 90s version of Woodstock was better because they were a little chiller. And then the late 90s version was all the fucking angsty rap rock
But what
metal shit.
Pearl Jam, like grunge music is pretty angsty.
Well, I mean, but it's sung differently. It's not sung
Yes.
like mean. It's not sung hard. It's not fucking Slipknot or any of that bullshit. Although Corey Taylor, as Corey Taylor, I dig Corey Taylor's music. I don't like Slipknot even. I couldn't even tell you a Slipknot song, but I like Corey Taylor. Bother. What's the other song? God, looking at you through the glass or whatever it is. He's got some fucking bangers, man. But I like Slipknot. I couldn't even tell you what fucking song he has. Not a fucking clue. I know he's feuding with MGK right now.
Is he? So is what's his face? Conor McGregor.
Ah, fuck Conor McGregor. Fucking one-legged asshole.
I mean, a lot of these, like, it's not for me. Okay, Slipknot, it's not for me. A lot of that heavy metal, heavy threat, like heavy Slipknot style metal, it's just not for me. But that's not saying he's a shitty musician. A lot of these guys are super talented musicians.
Corey Taylor knew.
It's not for me.
Corey Taylor knew what he needed to do to become famous, and that was create Slipknot. But that being said, the dude has a great voice. He actually can play instruments.
Well, he was actually in Stone Sour before Slipknot.
Yeah, that's where I think that's looking at you through the glass or through glass or whatever the name of the song is. And Corey Taylor, the solo would be the other song, Bother or whatever, from Spider-Man 2, I think. You don't need to bother or some shit like that, whatever it was.
Anyway, back to Petito. We keep getting sidetracked.
By the way, the name of that Pearl Jam song or Eddie Vedder song was Hard Sun.
Oh.
Hard Sun.
Hard Sun. Oh. It sounds like a Bruce Springsteen song.
He's basically Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen?
Spruce Springsteen?
Spruce
if I had a tree, I would name it Spruce Springsteen.
No, Spruce Springsteen.
Springsteen? It doesn't make any sense.
Spruce Springsteen.
Spruce Springsteen. Spruce. I'm going to buy a tree and name it Spruce Springsteen now.
Oh, God. It has to be a spruce.
It has to be a spruce.
I would buy a palm tree and name it that instead. Let's do it. All right, so we're laughing about fucking a 22-year-old girl getting murdered.
No, I'm not laughing about a 22-year-old girl getting murdered.
I know.
I'm laughing about Spruce Springsteen.
I know.
Maybe I was born to grow.
I'm growing in the dark.
Grown in the USA.
Those are the only three Bruce Springsteen songs I even know at this point. I don't know any. I'm more of a John Cougar Mellencamp fan, if I'm being honest. I don't know.
Tell Diddy about Marc and JD. Two assholes sitting in the house.
Talking to morons.
Yeah, talking on TV. Well, pod goes on.
The pod goes on.
Pod always goes on. Episode 58. I never thought we'd hit. Honestly, I thought we would crap out around 25. So
if I'm being completely honest, I thought you'd crap out after 55. Or after 55. I'm sorry, you said 55. I'm saying
I said 25.
I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say I thought we'd crap out at 30 because something would happen where either you'd go back to work or something, you don't have the time anymore, or something would happen here and I wouldn't be able to do it. But we've stuck it out, man.
Or
every week
we get in a van and go to Wyoming. I'm trying to bring it back every
time. It's a hard sun.
I don't know if you've noticed, but we sing more and more as we've been getting through.
Dude, I haven't been drinking either. It's sad that it's fucking retarded.
I want to hear a whole Spruce Springsteen album about trees.
Okay, wait. We gotta pull up. Gotta pull up a Bruce Springsteen album now and change all the names to trees.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. God
The name of
damn.
his band, not the E Street Band or the Elm Street Band. We don't even need to change the name of the first album. Greetings from Asbury Park. Yeah, sure, fits right in.
Oh God, we're fucking retards. Okay, let's
he's
see.
got Hungry Heart. Hungry. Oh, glory days.
Clear days in the forest.
I can't. Oh man.
Okay, all right, let's move on. We gotta move on. We gotta move. We gotta talk. We gotta get serious now. Okay, we're gonna go. It's true crime with Marc and JD. True crime. Only we have to say it in our Batman voice. True crime. I'm Batman.
You're Batman.
So
I'm also Batman.
You're Batman with glasses, if that were a thing.
Yes.
Although I guess Ben Affleck wears goggles, so I kind sort of. Yeah, why not?
They're bat goggles.
Bat goggles. So Gabby Petito.
This is the worst true crime podcast. That's another funny idea. It's like I just
start laughing podcast about people getting murdered.
We should start talking about like a true crime that happens, and we just keep getting sidetracked by other things. And like then at the end, like the last 30 seconds, we talk about what happened, and then that's it. We'll see you next time. True crime podcast.
We were we talked about this earlier. Like we can't dedicate the whole show to this true crime crap. We just can't because it's not us. We don't. There's
thousands of true crime podcasts out there. So
and don't get me wrong, I love true crime.
If you want the in-depth version, this is not the in-depth.
No, we're not in depth. I love true crime podcasts. I do. I'm a big fan of like Serial and Last Podcast on the Left. All that shit. I am. I don't really get a chance to listen to it as much anymore. I'm more into Dick and Fart Joke podcasts, but to each their own.
Right, we got both here.
This is the best of it. We're the Dick.
Can be both.
We're the Dick and Fart Joke and true crime podcast. And Spruce Springsteen.
And Mark Blenderman.
And Jark and MD.
Jark and MD. Just Jark and MD.
Talking about true crime.
Mark Delton. Talking about true crime. It's a travesty what happened to that girl. That poor, beautiful white girl,
The zone of death.
I heard she was a Trump voter,
I don't know. She lived in a van. She's probably a liberal.
Lived in a van down by the river. She vote. How does she vote? She legal?
She might not be legal. Maybe she's not from here.
So
no, I would say
you only got interested in the story because they're from New York. They're from Long Island.
So what is this? Blue Point, right? Something like that.
Yes.
It's funny. I have a mug that has Blue Point on it. I bought it at Foster's Grill.
Okay. They issued a warrant out for his arrest in Wyoming.
They did,
and it's funny because where they live in Florida is actually close to where my parents live now, and where you live in Florida.
It's actually an hour away from Cape Coral. Yeah,
right. It's in the same county, Sarasota County. So like, we've got double connections to it.
Actually, that's in Cape Coral's in Lee County, but yeah, close.
Well, I mean, it's still close. It's right there.
It's close. Yeah, it's close. It's only an hour away. I mean, I've driven through Northport. I'm going to drive through Northport when I move back to Florida. You drive through it.
Well, she was a pharmacy technician. Did you know that?
Where?
I don't know. It says she saved up money by working as a pharmacy technician before saving up for this trip. I don't know where. That'd be some shit if it was.
Oh God, don't say it.
It was where you work.
Where I work. All right, so I know we're not. This is not really going to be what we're talking about, but so notable people from Northport: Jack Kerouac, Jack fucking Kerouac, who wrote.
This is. I'm sorry. Just
listen.
I'm listening.
Jack Kerouac. What did he write, Mark? What was Jack Kerouac's most famous book?
Into the Wild?
No.
Call the Wild.
No.
I don't know. I don't read. You're the book reader, not me.
He wrote. I'm trying to think of that. On the Road.
On the Road again.
On the Road is based on Kerouac's travels and his friends across the United States.
Northport is actually also.
It all comes together. Is it?
The Braves have a spring training home there. Yeah.
Is that where like the weird, awesome, whatever park is called? Wherever it's at.
They played in Orlando.
I thought they played in Orlando too.
I thought they
played. No, I thought they played in Orlando. If I'm being honest.
2019 they moved. Yeah, they had been in Orlando.
Also.
Anyway, the cops let this asshole go.
Yeah, I don't understand how that works. There's also some rumors that apparently him and his family took a trip in the RV.
Like, how did they let him go? Like, wouldn't he immediately be a person of suspect? Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say yes. Of course. It's fucking ridiculous that they didn't keep him, not at least like sequestered. Be like, hey, man, you're on house arrest. You can't go anywhere until we find this fucking girl.
There's a connection to other murders, too.
Yeah, 2 lesbians or something like that.
2 lesbians? Now we're being misogynistic here. Who cares if they were lesbians?
No, I'm just saying that's what they called them. They were 2 angry lesbians.
Maybe they were all like in some sex cult. Maybe the Nexium too.
Damn it, this is getting salty.
Oh man, that would be some shit, wouldn't it? Holy
that would be
shit.
Fucking weird. What if she was sacrificed for the greater good?
Yeah.
What if this is like a fucking like they have a cult down there and they have like to dance around a fire? And she was just sacrificed. Maybe her soul is still there.
Burning Man?
This is getting fucking stupid. All right. So anyway, she's dead. As soon as I knew she was missing, I said she's dead. First of all, and 99% of the time, the boyfriend or the husband commits the murder. It's not a fucking secret. Right. But every TikTok and internet fucking sleuth out there has been talking about this fucking case for 3 weeks now. I'm getting real tired of it. I like him to just come out and be like, all right, here I am, find me. Or them find him and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Okay.
But also, like, you're talking about change Gabby Petito's race. If she's not a skinny, pretty blonde girl, nobody gives a fuck. If she's it's random black girl, some random Indian girl.
Well, you saw that they found
Latina girl. Like, come on.
They found that kid. They found out it is that kid, Jelani Day. It was him that they found, that body. So he was missing, that they found his body. He is dead.
You imagine
no longer missing.
If people really went and looked in forests or wherever, how many bodies would they find? If you went and scoured the entire United States, how many random bodies would you find that are murdered? People that
challenge accepted. Let's go find some bodies.
Somebody. Why can't a rich Bezos put your money towards that? I want every inch of this country looked at. I want to know how many bodies are found. I'd say,
but you'd find bodies that were buried, unmarked graves and shit like that.
Buried bodies. I'm talking about just people that were dumped and maybe half buried or anything like that.
You do know that bodies decompose, right?
Yeah, I know that.
You're talking about bones? Okay,
bones don't decompose.
There's animals in the woods, though, too, that eat bones and shit.
I'm pretty sure you can tell the difference between an animal bone and a human. You're saying they eat the bones? Who eats bones?
Animals eat bones. They have bone marrow inside of them. They eat bones. My dogs eat bones.
Trying to stay. Bones. Look at, like, if you went and dug up a grave from, like, the 1400s, they'd still have bones.
I understand that, but I'm saying if a body was just left out in the open and it decomposed, or a shallow grave, and it just
take to decompose bones.
Dude, the FBI is gonna knock on your door looking for you.
I'm sure it does. It says 3 weeks to several years for a body to completely decompose into a skeleton.
Say how long? 3 weeks?
A couple weeks to a few years to go to a complete skeleton only.
Ugh. That 2 week period is probably slimy.
Yeah,
just saying.
Stinky and shit. I don't know. It says in ordinary soil, 8 to 12 years to decompose a skeleton.
I don't understand how zombies happen. That doesn't make any sense.
It's because they're not real. Like, what are we talking about? You don't understand how
Hey, you never know. You never know.
I do know. Are vampires real?
Probably. I don't know. Ask the fucking goth people that always do random shit in like secret clubs in Hollywood.
All of them.
Like
The
Thomas,
Wolfman,
like
the
Thomas,
Mummy, zombies.
like
They're not real.
like. Well, no shit. I know the Wolfman's not real. Although I've seen some hairy fucking people.
Yeah, I mean,
My uncle looks like he's wearing a sweater when he has his shirt off. It's fucking
the
weird.
the amount of things that happen in actual real life are way scarier
Oh, I
than
know.
a lot of horror
So,
movies.
and that's the funny thing too. You have horror movies based on like fictional characters like Jason and Freddy and all shit. But if you look at like real true crime, like look at Pee Wee Gaskin and all that random shit. Like he fed people to fucking pigs, man. That's the creepiest shit I've seen in a long time.
I don't even know who
There's
that is. I'm not googling that because then
no
I'll
don't
really get it.
don't
When when I first started working for where I work, we didn't have a lot of work to do at first. They brought us in a weird time where nobody was around to train us, so we were just kind of not doing much of anything all day. And one of my buddies was on Wikipedia all the time, all the time. And like a couple months in, he was like, "Yeah, I was in a rabbit hole." And I'm like, "Dude, what are you googling over there?" He's like, "All the like serial killers and just reading all about it." I'm like, "Dude, they can see your search history." He's like, "Oh fuck." They probably really think I'm some fucking serial killer. Like all I've been doing is like reading about serial killers and all this kind of shit. And like he's like, I better stop. Like, yeah, no, it's too late now. You might as well just fucking keep going. Like, if you stopped, I think that would be more suspicious.
That is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, you can
Also,
imagine.
also reminds me of the time somebody else tried to go to Dick's Sporting Goods website, and they didn't always used to own Dicks.com. It used to be gay porn, and they didn't block it. He's like, oh shit.
Who goes to Dicks.com anyway?
People who want Dick's Sporting Goods. He was looking for golf clubs or something. I don't know.
Or Dicks. I'm not here to kink shame anybody.
I don't know why they let him go without nothing. So I understand, like it's always somebody. No, it's not labor. How many times is it a random person in a situation like that? Almost never. He comes home without her, and like nothing. Nobody thinks that's anything wrong with that.
Apparently not, but I mean, it's. I guess I would imagine somebody of the people did because the people outside fucking protesting his house. Where is she, Brian? Where is she? That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I'm sorry. That is fucking retarded. You there's better uses of your time. How about you go look for her? You fucking retards. Don't stand in front of his house, annoy the shit out of his parents, who are both assholes, by the way, and say, where is she, Brian? Where is she? I don't want to hear that. That's fucking dumb. Like you have these
people who protest these things, they have no life.
Like I don't have enough time to worry about her. Like I told you, and I told my wife, when this all came about, because I knew about it. I think I sent it to you, didn't I?
You did because she was from Long Island. You're like, I'm really into this Gabby Petito thing, and I'm like,
I don't know if I said
Gabby
that.
Petito.
I don't know if I said that. I said this is kind of fucking weird, and I'm like, this girl is dead. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I hate it for her parents. I get it. It sucks, but as soon as I knew she was missing and there was a dude involved, I knew she was dead. And then the whole story that started evolving, like the fight they had and everything else.
Okay, it's been a week. You said it a week ago today, actually, almost exactly a week ago. You're like, you see that story about the girl from Long Island, and I'm like, I did not. What story? And I Googled it. I'm like, Gabby Petito? Yes. Fucking van life bullshit. Of course it's gonna end in murder. Murder.
Did I send a GIF that said murder?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good.
And then you talked about the time you went camping.
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I think I already did.
No,
I can't fucking get my hat straight today. Fucking Christ! What?
Do you ever do a podcast without the hat?
Yeah, it'd be a long time ago.
Once or twice.
Well, when we used to do it on Mondays, right? Tuesdays, something like that.
Tuesdays.
We used to do it on Tuesdays, and then I would take a shower beforehand. But now I still have gel in my hair from work, so it looks terrible. Doesn't look as bad as yours, Johnny Galecki. But
I got my hair cut the other day, actually. Anyway,
That's a hair. Okay.
yeah, it's way shorter now. You can't really see it. It's dark. It's dark. It's moody. I'm setting the mood on you.
I'm just gonna grow my beard until it just grows out all the way.
So yeah, you said that to me, and then we were talking about camping. You got to tell the story. You got to
All
tell the
right,
story.
so
It's not really a story. It's just what happens. Two small things that two things that happen.
so we can't bleep out names, so I have to make up names as we go. So it was me, Brian, Romroy. I'm going to say Willie Matthews, and oh god, I can't make up that name.
No, you could just say
His name is Juan
yes,
Martinez.
yes, Juan Martinez.
So
Juan decided to make some special brownies.
Juan decided to make some special brownies. And so when you make special brownies, you don't put all of the special stuff in the brownies. You only put a little bit. There's a recipe.
It depends on how much you have.
Well, you're making like a small pan of brownies. You don't put the whole fucking thing of special stuff in the brownies, right? So he puts all the special stuff in the brownies, and they're like the most potent brownies of all time. It's like
a quarter of it.
Use all of it. So we took this. We didn't take anything other than beer. We didn't even take water. We just took beer, hot dogs, hot dog buns, and that is basically it.
And weed brownies.
And weed brownies, yeah. And then we took Conroy's.
Ready to pick it up.
We took Romroy's brother's pickup truck or something like that, and then drove down there. Drove to some. I couldn't even tell you where it is.
The rowboat.
We went on a rowboat. I thought I was going to die.
Whose rowboat was it?
It was the camping site's rowboat. We rented a rowboat.
You rented a rowboat?
We went to the rowboat, but we went to
a rower, like somebody to row me, then I would do it. I ain't fucking rowing.
No, it did not. But we went.
It's year 2000. We've got speedboats. Let's go, people.
Yeah, this was a while back. But we went. We instead of going straight to walk around the path to get to the rowboat, so we took a shortcut through the woods. I almost died. I almost fell down a hill. I grabbed onto a tree. I'm hanging on for dear life.
Right.
This
was really hit you.
This was before the weed brownies. I almost died. So we get to the rowboat. We do the rowboat. We come back. We're like, all right, let's tap into these weed brownies. We're all like, So let me just tell you, I've never done anything. I've never had any other drug other than weed in my body ever. Okay, ever in my lifetime.
Drug, Jim. Quit kidding yourself.
Well, they say marijuana is the gateway drug, but it was not a gateway drug for me. It was just a drug that I used recreationally for about.
Close the gate for you.
It closed the gate. I never wanted to do another drug. Never did any of the other shit. Fascinated by it, but I never actually did it. But so we did these pot brownies, and we're sitting there, and it just goes bam! It smacks you right in the face, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I was gonna die. I probably I'm pretty sure I cried. That's how stoned I was. I'm like, my parents are gonna kill you if I die. But I passed out. Woke up the next morning. I was fine. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever. We only stayed for one day. I was hammered drunk too. It was bad. It was a bad trip. Really bad trip. But I mean, it was I'm like, you fucking moron. You put the whole batch in I would have rather smoked it at that point instead of eating it. Who wants to eat fucking brownies? Like what? I'm a 25-year-old man at that. No, I wasn't 25. I was probably 21, maybe something.
I don't think so. You're
maybe 18, 19, something like that. But I was saying, who wants to? I don't want to eat fucking brownies and drink beer. This is my adulthood now. I have a rule. If I'm drinking beer, I don't eat anything sweet ever, because it changes your palate. You can't drink beer anymore. It tastes weird after that. So I don't ever eat anything sweet with beer. Ever. If we're having a birthday party and I'm drinking beer, I don't even eat cake. Ever. That's a rule. Don't eat cake and drink beer. I don't like sweets that much anyway. I'm more of a chip guy.
I've never heard this rule.
Rule number 1: no cake and beer. Name this podcast.
Don't drink orange juice after you brush your teeth kind of rule.
Whose rule is that? That's fucking weird.
You ever done that?
Who would do that anyway?
It fucking tastes disgusting.
I've never done
it a couple times. Oh shit! I brushed my teeth not too long ago. You don't like orange. Maybe if it was a grapefruit, it would change your mind. I need a soundboard of that. God damn.
There was a time in my life when I drank really, really cheap vodka with a bottle of orange juice, and I didn't drink orange juice for probably 10 years after that. And then I finally refound orange juice in my later life. I do love orange. I haven't drank it because I'm on this diet, but
I'm an orange juice purist. Okay,
I love orange juice.
I hate orange juice from concentrate. Fuck that garbage.
Like a bottle, or you mean like from like frozen shit?
Like, if you ever have Minute Maid orange juice, it's from concentrate. It's not
Minute Maid's gross, man.
right. But like, there's also like even the ones like you get in the frozen ones. It's got to be real, 100%. I know it. They're all like whatever. The whole orange juice industry is not 100% on the up and up anyway. But if I'm real snooty about it, like if you go to like McDonald's and get orange juice, it's not real orange juice.
No, of course not. And they charge you like a fucking insane amount for it too.
For like a little tip. You go to like it's not real. It's never real orange juice. I want real fucking orange juice. Real orange juice. I'm an orange juice purist. You'll never find real 100% juice in anything anyway, just because it's so much money.
No, they have what was it, Walmart? They sell that. It's like a green bottle. It has a green top and a green label. It's like sour. It's like pulp is in it or whatever. It's not terrible, but it's got like 120 calories for 8 ounces.
Yeah, because it's loaded with sugar.
Fucking insane.
You add sugar on top of it.
What? Who adds sugar to orange juice?
People do. They add sugar to orange juice.
What the fuck? Who? I need to know names now. Okay. It's fucking gross. Has enough sugar in it to kill someone.
Like when it's not really pure orange juice. Like
you have to, if you want pure orange juice, you have to make your own fucking orange juice. Okay. Get an orange, get a juicer, make your own fucking orange juice.
Right.
I like a good orange.
Better for you anyway.
It is. I had a clementine today. It was pretty good. But anyway, to end the story, we drove home and I didn't talk to those guys for a long time.
That's a recurring theme in your life. Something happened with those guys. You didn't talk to them for a while.
I don't like people. Oh, man. I don't know how I've talked to you this long. I don't know how I've talked to you. Well, we had a gap in our we still talked briefly, but we had a gap in our I don't know, where we talked all the time. Like especially when you had your kid, we didn't talk that much when you first had him.
Well, I mean, nobody talks when they have kids. You fucking kids, man. Like they take up all your goddamn time, and then whatever energy you do have, it's like I don't want to fucking fuck that. I'm fucking tired. Leave me the fuck alone.
And now here we are, 58 episodes into a podcast. 10
years later, and my kid doesn't shut the fuck up. He's sleeping, thank Christ. Otherwise, he'd be down here. Dad, what are you doing? Are you still here? Are you here? I'm good. If you need me, I'm over here. Okay, good. Thanks. That's what he does. Like he makes sure like I'm still around.
You still here, Dad? Is he afraid you're gonna leave?
Yes, we're working on it. I don't know why. Like I can't even leave. I can't even get out of the basement without him seeing me. But his thing where he's real chill about it. He's real chill. He's like, if you need me, I'll be in the living room. It's like, motherfucker, I ain't gonna need you. No.
I can't even take a shit in peace. Okay.
Right. I know. You're in here? Yeah, I'm in here.
Why is the door locked? Because I'm taking a shit. Leave me alone.
One time I was in the bathroom taking a shit, and he had to go to the bathroom, and he did not want to go upstairs to go to the bathroom. So he went in the backyard and peed outside. True story.
Why?
Because he didn't want to go upstairs to the bathroom and pee. I don't know. Who does that?
My kid. Well, my kid has peed in the tub because if I'm in there, he doesn't want to go downstairs to the basement and go pee. I'm like, what the fuck? It's not even really a basement. It's just a split level house. Just go downstairs. It's like 80 steps away. Go downstairs and go to the pee. I mean, fucking Christ.
80 steps. That's pretty
whatever. Maybe.
What kind of house do you live in? 80 steps? I can walk around my whole house in 80 steps.
Okay.
Every room.
All right. I exaggerated a little bit. Maybe like 20 steps. Okay.
Jesus. I didn't know you lived in a fucking mansion there.
It's just kids are weird.
Kids are weird. The other night, yesterday, he said to me, I can't sleep. I have amnesia.
Be like, if you don't stop talking, you're gonna have You're definitely going to have amnesia.
Why would that help you? Why would that make you not be able to sleep? I don't get it.
I think you sent that to me and I was like, amnesia? Pretty sure he means.
School. He said it at school the other day. I feel funny. I think I have amnesia. He saw it in the movie. He's like, yep, I've got that. I don't remember anything.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, to be fair, we were all like that at one point. We see something on TV, we thought it was kind of neat. And we're like, yeah, sure, I've got amnesia.
I can't remember telling anybody I have amnesia,
well,
but
I mean, not amnesia, but
not specifically, yeah. Oh, kids. Have kids, they said. Yeah. No. Nope.
No, it's all good.
No more kids. One kid's fine. All right, so you want to talk about this Super Mario movie?
Not really.
Want to talk more about this hilarious murder mystery?
Hilarious murder mystery with the Gabby Petito thing?
Well, yeah. What other hilarious murder mystery have we been talking about this whole time?
I don't think it's hilarious. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm kidding. I
think it's hilarious. It's funny that this happens at the same time with that Hulu show with Steve Martin about the true crime podcast is going on.
Yeah, I know. It's a little weird. Isn't Selena Gomez on that show?
Yes.
That's fucking weird.
Executive produces it.
That's fucking weird. I don't mind Selena Gomez, but at the same time, it's like, get out of my face. I just don't need to see
anything else to really talk about, though.
I want to bring it. I do want to bring up this. I want to bring up this Mario thing. We got to talk about it. It's the weirdest casting of all time.
Chris Pratt is playing Mario or Mario. I call it Mario.
It's Super Mario. But the weirdest thing is that Charlie Day is playing Luigi.
It's an animated picture.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes more sense now, actually.
Yeah, but still, like, it's a big deal. Like, Chris Pratt doing the voice of Mario, he's not Italian. Like, I don't get it.
It's me, Mario. I bet he could do it.
Mario.
He could probably do it. He could pull it off.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna think it's like his character in the Lego movie.
Yeah, he's gonna have to really work at it. He's gonna have to, like, who would you get to do an Italian accent?
An actual Italian?
He's not that Italian. He's an American Italian.
But he's always got that Italian accent.
You'd have to get like
Al Pacino. Not approved. Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. Mario.
It's me, Mario.
What's the fucking line from Devil's Advocate? I can't remember. What's the fucking line he yells?
I mean, it's a really big time voice. I didn't even know that they were doing a movie, to be honest. Most video game movies are not good. The Sonic movie was actually pretty good, though.
Sonic movie was really good, actually. The second one's gearing up to be pretty fucking good, too. Idris Elba playing Knuckles, man, I'm all in for that.
I just want just give me another live action. I don't care how bad it is. Just give me another cheesy live action Super Mario movie.
Yeah. Oh, he goes, look, but don't touch. That's one of the lines from that.
The whole story about that movie, how it got made, is a movie all in and of itself.
What, Devil's Advocate?
No.
What are we talking about?
The Super Mario movie.
That movie's hot garbage.
Oh, it is hot garbage. But there needs to be a documentary about that movie. Because if you've ever read like the backstory, it's fucking insane.
That movie came out.
Nintendo tried to buy the rights and destroy the copy of it. They did that with a porno, by the way. Did you know that?
No.
There's a porno called Super Hornio Brothers. And they bought up the rights and all the copies that were out there and destroyed them. It actually exists.
Where can we find this?
I don't know if you can find it anywhere, but it did actually exist. And it's got Squeegee Hornio, who's played by Ron Jeremy.
Oh my god. No, I don't want to see this movie. Fuck that raping asshole.
Real movie, though. Really existed.
It probably didn't need to exist. But whatever. Not. Man, it had a good cast, too. Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper. That original movie had a pretty good cast. But why would they think this would actually be a good movie? Is my question. You know,
I don't know. Here, let's see. Let me open this. We'll do a little this. We'll do a little this. There you go. That's what the movie cover was.
Super Horny. They had a Super Hornios too. Good for them.
Apparently. You can't really find that anymore, though. There's Ron Jeremy over here.
Ugh, what a douchebag.
I just can't believe they made it into a porno. Nintendo bought the rights to both of them. It's like you can't really find the original anywhere. So,
do you know the guy who directed the original Super Mario Brothers created Max Headroom?
Yeah, this is their first movie that they did, and they never did another movie after that.
No, they did not.
Oh, the first big movie. They did another movie, DOA, with Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan.
Sounds like a keeper.
Yeah, so whatever. I'm done. I'm out of things to talk about. I'm gonna go record a Bruce Springsteen album here.
I'm fine with that. What we're gonna name this podcast? What was the name of it?
Bruce Springsteen and the Elm Street Band.
It's just a picture of a spruce tree wearing jeans.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It writes itself.
It's perfect. Perfect album cover of all time. Oh man, I gotta make that album cover.
The Born in the USA, where it's got a hat. It's got the hat in his back pocket. You know
it's a tree.
Yeah, it's a tree.
I don't have time to make these logos anymore.
I know. You're not really that great at Photoshop either, but yeah, I mean.
Well, I'm not using Photoshop. If I had Photoshop, I'd be great at it. It's like some rando fucking program.
Springsteen.
Not great at using Photoshop. I fucking hate you. You make the logos from now on.
You edit all the other shit. How's that?
You just keep popping out videos when we talk about random shit.
Okay, well, actually, I looked it up. They actually built a Spruce Springsteen Muppet in 1988.
Okay, this is not a.
It was a Night of 100 Trees. Started in 1982. They auctioned off Muppets to raise money for charity.
Okay, so this is not an original idea anymore.
Oh, yes, it is. I didn't know that existed. Who would know this existed?
Just now, Spruce Springsteen. I'm sure there's probably a picture of a spruce wearing jeans.
Not really. It's just a Muppet, it's just a tree-looking Muppet. It almost looks like fucking Oscar with a guitar. That's what it looks like. Anyway, you can find us on Twitter, Marc and Ginny on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Our TikTok is JD is something, right? I don't know.
JD's mostly nice.
Mostly nice. You can find us there. Twitter and Instagram is where we are most active. Again, if you want to find the podcast itself, Spotify is your best shot. Apple Podcasts, second best shot. Your third best shot is, every place else on the fucking universe. We're on everything.
We're everywhere.
Where do you want to listen to us to? If you want us to be on something and we're not there, let us know, and I will get on there.
We're on it now.
We're going to be on everything.
All right, well, this has been fun.
Yes, this has been the Super Hornio Brothers podcast.
No, Super Hornio Brothers 2.
3.
The horneting. Do I get to wear a tail in this one? It's weird.
Super Hornio Galaxy.
Wait, which one of us is Mario?
You're taller, so you.
So wait, his name is Mario. So Mario Hornio. Doesn't make. Is it Hornio?
No, it was like instead of Luigi, it was Squeegee. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's fucking retarded.
It is fucking retarded.
So it has to be Hornio, and Squeegee Hornio.
Is screaming for its own podcast, show where they just watch porno parodies.
I can't watch porno all day. I can't do it. I'm out on that one.
I don't even want to watch the porn. I just want to watch the actual
I want to watch the talking parts. Yeah, I want to watch
the scenes that they're parodying
You like watching schlock horror movies. Speaking of which, we never got that guy on. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Well, it's almost Halloween. Maybe we could.
Ooh.
Get ready for it. Yes.
I might not be here for Halloween, though. So keep
I
that
will
in mind.
I will tell you that right now.
You won't
I
be?
have a wedding to go to.
Oh, whose wedding? Oh, it's your brother's wedding.
His wedding.
Oh, you relented. You actually went. Proud of you.
Yeah, relented. What does that even mean? Like, I wasn't going to go to my brother's wedding?
I would.
Well, yeah, you don't know my brother. Why would you go to my brother's wedding?
I wasn't invited.
Right, you weren't invited.
It's rude.
You gonna show up anyway? That'd be weird.
And you think I'm going to go to New York to go to your brother, or DC to go to your brother's wedding? Fuck that shit.
Neither.
Where does he live now?
He lives in New York, but it's in Vermont. Don't get me started.
Yeah, we got to go into this. Why is it in Vermont? Is he marrying a dude? Is it legal there?
Don't get me started.
Just curious.
I'm just gonna don't. Just gonna end it. Maybe
next week. On Marc and JD. Why is Marc's brother getting married in Vermont? Where there's cheddar. It's cheddar. 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 Okay. Bye.
Okay, we'll call you next week.